This is our Year 1 classroom where our misbehaving student is displaying the behaviour of a Category B student. A Category B student is less interested in their schoolwork and is often less confident in their own abilities. They sometimes get distracted and can be distracting to those around them. In our classroom, we have a sleeping panda which represents quiet time. This is an example of how a teacher should not handle this situation.
Alright, today we are going to look at some different shapes. So, on the whiteboard, I'm going to choose a student who is raising their hand and who is quiet. Michaela, would you like to come and draw a shape on the board and pick someone who can guess what the shape is that you've drawn?
A triangle.
Oh,
A square.
calling out. We're not calling out. Michaela.
A circle.
A circle, well done. Shayna, would you like to now come up and draw a shape? Ooh, what has she drawn?
Michaela. A triangle.
Is she correct?
Yes.
Well done. Okay, now I'm going to have a turn at drawing some shapes on the board. I guess.
A square. Hey, that's a
Square.
rectangle.
Ooh, it's not a rectangle. I'll show you what a rectangle looks like and we can compare the two. Now, do you see how with a rectangle, not all four sides are the same as they are with a square? Shayna. Shh. That's for me to correct her, thank you. Alright, so now I'm going to give you each a board. Oh. And these boards have cutouts of different shapes. So there are some missing shapes here. What have I asked? In fact, we have our sleeping panda out, which means what, Shayna? Okay. Let's keep it that way. So these boards are missing some shapes as they've been cut out, and here are the cutouts, and they've all been mixed up. So I want you to put them in their correct places, alright? So choose the colour of a board and get started with that one.
Yes, it is.
Up, girls.
She told me mine wasn't right.
This isn't a time to be talking.
Miss?
Yes?
Shayna keeps singing.
Shayna! What have I asked several times? To what?
Stop humming.
Yeah, stop humming and stop being silly. What are you supposed to be doing?
But I am doing it. That was boring.
Did I say fill in these boards with all the missing pieces while humming? Did I? Was that my instruction?
No, but it was fun to hum.
Now is not the time. Lunchtime, hum all you want. But right now, we have the sleeping panda who's trying to sleep but can't because you're making too much noise and other people in this room are trying to learn. So do not distract other people's learning. Ruin your own, but not other people's.
But I don't
No.
care.
You need to start caring. Alright. Show me once you finish your board. Shayna! Up you get. I've had enough. That's enough. Get up. If you finish, share with the person next to you and just make sure that they've done the right thing. Up you get. We're leaving. You're going straight to the principal's office. I've had a gut full of you. Out you go. I'm not walking you out. Alright. Now, did everyone have that correct?
Now this is the same Year 1 classroom, however, in this scenario the teacher chooses to handle the situation using Cantor's assertive language and Raven's reward power system, and the panda still representing quiet time. Let's take a look at how this scenario plays out.
Alright, year ones, today we will be looking at some different shapes. So, if you can have a think in the back of your mind of a shape, and whoever raises their hand and is quiet, Michaela, you can come up the front and draw us a shape and have everybody else guess which shape it is. Oh, what shape has she drawn?
A triangle.
It wasn't a triangle.
A square.
What shape was it, Michaela?
A circle.
Well done. All right, Shayna, would you like to come up and draw a shape for us, please?
Ooh. Michaela, a triangle. Yeah.
Well done, both of you. All right, now I'm going to start drawing some shapes on the board, and you guys can call out if you want and tell me which shape I've drawn. Oh, Shayna, I have said we can call out, but I haven't said to hum. What shape am I drawing here?
A rectangle.
Ooh, close. Yep.
A square.
A square. Well done. All right, now I'm going to draw another one. I feel like Shayna might have this one.
A rectangle.
Well done. Ooh, it sounds like quite a few of us have a lot of humming to get rid of. So how about we all stand up and we can hum a song together? How about that?
Yeah.
Little brain break in between our lesson. All right, Shayna, do you want to lead us out? All right, now that we've got all the sillies out of us, we can get back into our work. So sit down. I'm going to give you guys a board. And this board has some shapes, but they've been cut out. The shapes are missing. So I'm going to give you the shapes that are all jumbled up, and you're going to fit them in their correct place on the board. So would you like the red one? And would you like the yellow?
Yes, please.
Oh, lovely manners. All right, so just work through those for me. Sticking the correct shape. Shayna, we have spoken about this. We've already gotten our silly humming out of the way, so now we're working quietly, not distracting others. Shayna, would you like some help with this? Why are we still humming?
I don't know where to put the shapes.
Okay, so instead of humming, what do you think you should do about it?
Maybe ask.
Maybe ask for help. All right. Well,
I don't know where this one is.
well, how many sides does that one have, Shayna?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. Okay, let's have a look at this board. Now, which out of all of these 6 shapes has 4 sides? There's only one of them.
That one.
Well done. See if it fits. Ah, it fits.
Okay.
Okay, well done. Do you want to show me this shape here? Yeah?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5, okay. So we're going to look for something with 5 sides. Does it fit?
Yeah.
Well done. Now let's see if you can do the rest of those while I go and help some others. Michaela, how are you going?
Good. I can do it, miss.
Shayna? What are we
Yes,
doing?
Miss.
What are we doing?
Putting the shapes on the board.
We're also making noise, and I've asked you several times. If you can promise me you can work through this quietly without distracting others, we may have some spare time left at the end of the lesson for free time activities where we can hum another song. But for now, we need to be working on this
Okay.
very quietly so we don't wake up the sleeping panda.
No. I'm finished.
Finish. Oh, well done. Have we finished here too?
Yeah.
Yep. Do you want to check each other's work? Make sure it's all right.
I think it's right.
Well
It is.
done, girls. Thank you for working so well. Now, we actually have 5 minutes left before lunch, so you guys can have an early mark. I'm happy for you to use any of the games or anything in the
Can I
classroom.
hum now?
You can hum all you want. We might even play some soft music in the background for you guys. Would that be good?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey Kevin!
Hi.
Alright, so we're just going to discuss a few of the theories that we have behind our scenarios. So with the developmental management approach, we wanted to focus more on a level B student, so the category B. But we worked ourselves up to it, so both in the first scenario and the second scenario, the teacher used hinting, and then when that wasn't working, it was then moving into the next phase, which was, being a bit more assertive, or in the first one was losing your mind, so slipping back into the child state, which was not the best way to handle it. And then bringing in Raven's powers and tying it all together, as like Lewis suggests that we should be using the referent power as well as the legitimate and the rewards and even a bit of coercive. We decided mostly to stick with the legitimate and the rewards power for the second scenario, so how to handle it properly.
Yeah, I think that Millie, the teacher in our scenes, really displayed these powers quite well, especially in the second scenario. She displayed the reward system while she was allowing students to hum the tune in a certain time, therefore allowing Shayna, the student, to get her jitters out and to have the whole classroom all come together to get rid of their jitters and to be able to have fun at the same time. And then she also, in the same scenario, the second one, she had that relationship with the students, which is, I think, is very important as a teacher to...
especially because, like, you could see that I wasn't understanding the concept and having the relationship to know that was then able to handle the situation properly. Yeah,
and by Millie coming and assisting Shayna was comfortable with her presence around her, and Millie was able to show Shayna how to work out different questions and that with that type of assistant because of that relationship she's got.
Because the humming was like a response system, so every time I got something wrong, it would be, I'm humming because this is how I make myself feel better.
Yeah. But in the first scenario, when we focused, I guess, more on the legitimate power and the coercive power, Millie used her power as the teacher to get rid of Shayna. As the teacher, she was allowed to tell Shayna to leave the classroom there and then because of her behaviour. But if we foster that relationship with the student, you shouldn't have to reach that point.
And especially being at the tone of, like, the aggression that was used to throw the student out of the classroom, especially for a Year 1 student, is not quite appropriate. Pretty intense. So, which is not the best way to handle a situation like that, especially you want to use that relationship and use, like, the rewards or, go through the different powers and the different steps that you have in the DMA approach.
And the coercive power, which is when the teacher has that power over the student. So that was definitely evident in our first scenario as well, as Millie used her her power for the student to almost be scared to a certain extent. That
and it scares the rest of the students as well.
Exactly, because the other student, which was me sitting next to her, just watched on and didn't want to interrupt or say anything during that time as well. So,
anything you want to add, Millie?
Yeah. Throughout our role play, the teacher, so being myself, demonstrated the assertive discipline approach. So I assertively communicated through my words and actions that I had control of the classroom in both scenarios. However, in the first scenario, my teacher voice began at an assertive tone. However, it then became hostile as I became fed up with my students' behaviour. And Michaela was talking about that just before, that didn't
Yeah, the
students.
student
It's not
didn't.
it does. The student
communicate
won't ever
well with
respond like positively to
Yeah.
that. They're just going to see afterwards that you hate them
Yeah.
or you dislike them because you yelled at them and were angry at them. for-
And that you're not there to help them.
no, that you don't care
Yeah.
about them and that
Because
they don't matter.
ultimately, you want the student to be able to talk to you and come to you for the
Advice,
different-
yeah.
assistance, I guess.
And not be scared to approach you because they don't understand what they're
Mm.
doing. So their response is
Yeah.
maybe if I just be distractive,
Yeah.
I'll get attention, but
Mm.
they're getting that attention then in a negative way and it doesn't help their learning.
Yeah, and in the second scenario, just the tone of voice remained cool, calm, and collected. And it was firm and but there was no outbreak of anger or anything like that. So that worked better with the student.
in the second scenario, we wanted to focus more on Lee Cantor's assertive language and remaining assertive and in control of the classroom while still maintaining your relationship with the students. And drawing on the different powers, so giving the student a reward, so at the end of the lesson they got to all hum together, and that was great for the student because they did their work, they got it correct, and then they got to do something that they thought was fun throughout the lesson but wasn't productive at the time, could then do it later.
Yeah, and altogether, in the second scenario, you could tell that the students were enjoying class. Enjoying the lesson. Even though it was exactly the same lesson.
Yeah, the activities were the same, nothing was different.
That interaction between the teacher and student was just so much more positive and engaging that students were willing to cooperate and be involved in the learning process. So, and
like you can still use the same sort of like behaviour management systems, just like Millie clicked at one point, and she did that I think in both the
Subtle
first
hint.
scenario and the second, so it was a little bit of hinting, so you can like start small, you don't have to start big and like jump straight into like the rewards or into like being aggressive or assertive or whatever. You can start off small and
we don't
work your way up to that.
humiliate the student at the same time.
And that didn't take away from the lesson either. Like it was just a quick click of the fingers. You need to get back on track.
It was like getting the students like instant attention, but just because it was a category B student, because it was repetitive, because they're not sure of themselves and they don't care about distracting the classroom. It was then moving from clicking to being using the assertive language and going, this isn't the time, you need to stop now because we're trying to do this. And then also using the reward system, bringing that in and trying to like gain their interest so that they want to learn and they know that they're a part of the classroom and that they are cared about.
And also, I think we got to talk about the panda.
Oh, the panda.
That was my favourite part. I thought the panda was a really cool idea. If the teacher has just something in the classroom that she can refer to for the students to acknowledge, okay, the teacher's pointing to that or referring to that, I need to be quiet. And it also helps develop that relationship.
It's like a visual clue,
and,
like cue as well for those students
That's
that are, more kinesthetic, more hands-on, more visual.
Yeah.
They're really like, the panda's out.
Trying
What
to
does this
sleep,
mean?
like-
Yeah.
And students respond well to that because they love, most students should love animals.
And love
Especially the age group
and,
we had as well,
Yeah.
like year
year
ones.
one. And it's a puppet as well, so you could use it as both a puppet and just like an icon to just show the class. It's kind of like the traffic lights. Like red means like no talking, like orange is like whispering, green's like like
talk,
you can.
go
It's
for it,
conversation.
but
We're just not yelling.
classroom level.
Yeah,
And
so
you could
inside
include
voices.
another animal, like a loud one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can use that as
You
different
could.
animals.
You can make
And
it
be like, this is now a time where you can have food. You can,
so like a
you can
lion
make
because a
noise.
lion's allowed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
So,
But yeah,
Um,
no.
I think we've covered everything. Yeah, so like the main theories that we wanted to focus on was definitely Ramon Lewis's DMA approach to the development management approach. We also wanted to draw on Raven's powers. So mostly, when doing it correctly, we wanted to draw upon the legitimate and the rewards were the main two that we definitely wanted to focus upon. And then also, and the referent, definitely the referent, because we wanted to bring in that relationship because it is so important in the classroom. And then our third theory was Lee Cantor's assertive discipline. So using that assertive language and not being afraid to use the assertive language, it's not a negative thing. It's just when you take it from
Just
assertive.
the way you do it.
If you take it from assertive to aggressive language, that's when it can become harmful to the classroom. But still being assertive and remaining in control of your classroom, but having a fun time and still being able to learn without having the fear of the teacher judging them or being mean to them.
And
Any final words?
Yeah, it was fun.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
I promise I won't teach like that. In an actual classroom, the first scenario.
Yeah, she's not going to be so dramatic and toss everything off the table.
But that was fun. Yes.
All right. Thanks for listening, Kevin.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.